Hello everybody and welcome to the Scouting Report. I'm Dan Hayek here with Matt Doyle, and today we're previewing the Rivalry Week match between the New York Red Bulls and DC United. Matt, both of these teams have been struggling to create a lot of chances in the early going so far, but they're both loaded with offensive talent. Between these two rosters, who do you expect is going to have the biggest impact on this game as far as that attacking talent is concerned?
I think the easy answer is Dwayne De Rosario returning from a suspension, so he's well rested. Yeah. But we know how much he likes to play his former teams, and this is one that he has a particular bullseye on, always has since he and Hans Baca didn't see eye to eye 2 summers ago. So Dwayne De Rosario's the easy choice. The other choice has to be Thierry Henry. He has been kind of non-existent through the first 2 weeks of the season for the Red Bulls. Granted, both games were out west, a couple of time zone differential. He has a lot of reasons why he didn't play so well, but now he's home. He's in front of his home fans. It is a big game for them, though, and he hasn't played particularly well for the Red Bulls in big games since 2010. So he needs to show up for New York to sort of get off the schneid. 1 point from 2 games isn't going to cut it, even on the road. And losing to a rival at home, that's a 6-point swing early in the year. That would not make TT happy, and nobody likes it when TT's unhappy.
You mentioned Dwayne De Rosario there from the DC perspective, and of course, a guy that's going to be helped by his presence is Chris Pontius. Chris Pontius also likes scoring goals against New York. 5 of his 12 last year were against the Red Bulls. Do you expect he adds another goal or 2 to his career tally against them on Saturday?
I'm not going to make any predictions for this game, but I will say this. Pontius is sort of an ideal sidekick type of guy. You don't want your offense to run through him. You want him to be sort of their shoulder to shoulder with whoever your creative hub is. That's why he and De Rosario work together so well. The other thing about Pontius is that there might not be a better player in the league running at you if the defender is backpedaling. Once you start taking that second step back, he is going to murder you. I think we saw it against the Red Bulls last season. We've seen him create a couple of spectacular plays this year, almost had a goal against Real Salt Lake when the defender was backpedaling. That's Chris Pontius' game. When Dwayne De Rosario is there, he gets the ball in those positions more often. Defenses have to step to De Rosario, so that creates angles. Pontius gets the ball on the run. Goals happen. So I think this stands to be a pretty good game for Chris Pontius, but I'm not going to go out on a limb and predict any goals.
Now, you mentioned in your first point that New York and Thierry Henry have only won 1 point so far in their first 2 games. They had the chance of winning all 6. They had winning positions in both games. They lost 5 points from winning positions. What do they need to do against DC to make sure that doesn't happen again?
Well, I think some changes on the back line are probably in order. Heath Pierce, I think he's always been a better left back than he has been a central defender. And hey, there's probably some need at left back in New York these days. They haven't been able to shut down any sort of service from the flanks. Their line is playing too deep. So I think one is put Heath Pierce out there and maybe sub in Marcus Holgerson into central defense. Hope Hymas Olave is just sort of rounding into shape. And the other one is get Dax McCarty a little more help in the central defensive midfield. The guys that they've had, Eric Alexander was pretty good going forward, but didn't add much in terms of defense. Juninho was poor in defense in game 1. So they need to adjust a lot of things in their back third, or else they're going to keep giving up chances. And top teams don't really give up that many chances in MLS.
Well, we know Matt's not going to make any predictions, but we want to hear your predictions. Leave them in the comments below. This one takes place Saturday. It's on NBC, and it kicks off at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Time.